Imagine celebrating your 100th birthday. You blow out the candles, but you don't feel old. You look in the mirror and see the face of a 40-year-old. Your body is strong, your mind is sharp, and you have another century ahead of you. This isn't a miracle drug or future technology. Humans just evolved this way. We age 2.5 times slower. We live 200 years. Sounds like paradise, right? Well, let's see what would actually happen. First, let's talk about you. The math is simple. Aging 2.5 times slower means at 50, you look 20. At 100, you're physically 40. Real old age? That doesn't hit until you're 160 or 170. But this changes everything about your life timeline. Puberty wouldn't hit until your 30s. You'd graduate college at 50. Your first child? Maybe at 80 or 100, because why rush? You'd still be young at 60. People would call you a kid until you're 70. Think about relationships. Would you marry someone knowing you have 150 years together? Or would we have serial relationships, different partners for different life chapters? You might have 3 or 4 marriages in your lifetime. Till death do us part hits different when death is 180 years away. And imagine meeting your ex from 120 years ago at a party. Awkward doesn't even begin to cover it. Your career? You could master 10 or 15 completely different fields. Become a doctor, then a musician, then an engineer, then start a business at 120. You'd have time to fail, learn, pivot, and try again without any pressure. A midlife crisis at 100? That's just getting started. But here's the dark side. Procrastination would be brutal. I have 180 years to do this becomes the ultimate excuse. And psychologically, could your mind handle 150 years of memories, losses, and experiences? You'd watch friends die, trends come and go dozens of times, and see the world change in ways you can't keep up with. Would you become infinitely wise, or just infinitely tired? Now zoom out. If everyone lives 200 years, society breaks in ways we can't imagine. Education would stretch for decades. You might spend 40 to 50 years learning before you even start working. Universities would be packed with people from 20 to 80, all still considered students. Getting your PhD at 70? Totally normal. The workplace becomes a nightmare. Imagine trying to get promoted when your boss has 120 years of experience and isn't retiring until they're 160. Young talent gets blocked. Innovation slows down because the people in power have been there for a century. That CEO? They've been running the company since before you were born. And they're not going anywhere. And the economy? Forget about it. If you retire at 160, you need savings to last 40 plus years. Social security collapses. Pensions become impossible. Housing? No one dies, so no one sells their house. Young people wouldn't own property until they're 100. Meanwhile, someone who bought land 150 years ago is now a billionaire. Wealth concentrates in the hands of those who've had 150 years to accumulate it. The wealth gap would be measured in centuries. The generation gap would be insane. Picture a 20-year-old working alongside a 180-year-old. They'd have nothing in common. Your great-great-great-grandparents would still be alive, voting, controlling politics. Would democracy even function when elderly voters outnumber young people 10 to 1? Every politician would be ancient. Every law would favor the old. Progress would freeze. But the real catastrophe? The planet itself. Do the math. People keep being born at normal rates, but now they take 2.5 times longer to die. Population doesn't just grow, it explodes. We're talking 20, maybe 30 billion people on Earth. That's 4 times what we have now. Water would be the first crisis. Rivers would run dry. Aquifers would be drained. Wars over water would become constant. The Colorado River, the Nile, the Ganges, all reduced to muddy streams. Then food. We'd need 3 or 4 times more farmland. Forests? Gone. Cleared for agriculture. The Amazon? A memory. Oceans? Overfished to extinction. No more tuna. No more salmon. Just jellyfish and trash. Energy consumption would skyrocket. We'd burn through fossil fuels faster than ever. Coal, oil, natural gas, depleted in decades. The air in cities would become unbreathable. Beijing, Delhi, Los Angeles. You'd need a mask just to walk outside. And housing? Forget suburban homes. We'd build vertical megacities, 500-story skyscrapers where people live in tiny capsules, stacked like batteries. Privacy would be a luxury only the rich could afford. Climate change would accelerate beyond control. More people means more carbon dioxide, more deforestation, more pollution. We'd see mass extinctions. Polar bears, tigers, rhinos, all gone. Hurricanes, droughts, wildfires on a scale we can't imagine. Entire regions would become uninhabitable. Florida, underwater. The Middle East, a scorched wasteland. The Earth would be transformed into a concrete jungle choking on its own waste. And here's the brutal irony. We evolved to live 200 years. Just in time to destroy the planet that gave us those 200 years. So what could we do? The options are all extreme. Option 1. Space colonization. Mars, the Moon, orbital stations. We'd have to leave Earth just to survive. But that would take decades and trillions of dollars we don't have. Option 2. Brutal population control. One child per couple for their entire 200-year life. Maybe even licenses to have kids. You'd have to apply, wait decades for approval. Freedom sacrificed for survival. Option 3. A technological miracle. Lab-grown meat, fusion energy, floating ocean cities. We'd need to reinvent everything about how we live. And we'd need to do it fast. But realistically, we'd probably do none of these in time. We'd just watch the world collapse in slow motion, arguing about solutions while Rome burns. So what if we lived 200 years? We'd gain incredible things. More time to learn, to love, to experience everything life has to offer. But we'd lose even more. The planet would suffocate under the weight of billions. Society would stagnate. The young would be crushed by the old. And the Earth that gave us life would be destroyed by our extended existence. Maybe death isn't a bug, it's a feature. It makes room for new generations. It gives life urgency and meaning. It keeps the world moving forward. Here's the real question. If you could live 200 years, but it meant this future, would you still want it? Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you take the deal? And if you want more thought experiments that'll change how you see the world, subscribe and hit the bell, because we're just getting started.